Hey, beautiful people, how are you? Hope you're doing very well. Welcome back to the Young Black and Independent Show, where we discuss a variety of topics to help young black folks live a spiritually fulfilled, healthier, less materialistic, and financially independent lives. I'm your host, Sil, and today we shall be talking about the mind. I just want us to have a chit chat about the mind. So, a lot of times you hear people saying, I didn't really think about it. I haven't thought about it. The reason why people say those things is because it is fundamental to understand that people do what they make up their minds to do. Okay? You wouldn't do anything that you haven't made up your mind to do. I'll tell you a story. I want this to be story time. So, I remember while I was growing up, my dad, I hated accounting. I swear to you, I did. But my dad was like, "You're going to do it. You will do it. And if you fail accounting again, or if you fail accounting at your O levels or A levels, I'll make you write it over and over until you pass it." Oh my God, when I heard that, I was like, I can never let this happen to me. What? So my classmates are going to be in lower seat and I'll be in form five and they'll ask me to run up? No way, no way. I'm not letting this happen to me. And I went back to school because what had happened was that I went back home during I think it was the second term exams when we write the mock and all that. And I was, following my dad all over the house, just insisting, "Daddy, haven't you had a look at my report?" And when he eventually did, he was like, "Are you crazy? Have you lost your mind? Is it for these useless grades that you've been disturbing my peace?" Sylvie, let me tell you something. If you do not pass accounting, you will repeat the GCE until such a time when you will pass it. Do you understand me? I was like, "Yes, Daddy, I do." He was like, "Good, you better do it because I'm not bluffing." I was like, "Oh my God, oh my God, I need to pass. I need to pass." And I went back to school and I was like, "Oh my God, how do I do this? I hate this subject so much." But I tell you what, from 10 on 100 during my mock exams, I worked so hard in accounting that I finally passed accounting. Because I set my mind to pass it. And the only reason why I was so determined to pass it is because I did not want to repeat the GCE. Imagine repeating the GCE over and over for some subject that you don't even like. Who wants to do that? Certainly not me. So I started thinking, I need to pass. I need to pass. That was the only thing I pondered. I need to pass. And every time I sat down to study accounting, that, that stress of having to repeat accounting, you know, because I didn't pass it, is something that I just did not want to, to imagine. I just did not want to imagine it, you know. And eventually, thank heaven, I passed. Another circumstance in my life where I felt that my mind, that what I had made up my mind to do, I achieved was was to have a baby. Believe you me, it was to have a baby. I'm not even going to sit here and pretend that, it came naturally to me. No, it did not. It did not. When I felt pregnant for my first, I was quite young, and I I swear that I didn't imagine how babies come out. I didn't ponder how babies are born, and it was something that I had to start practicing in my mind to understand how babies are born and to accept that this baby had to be born. Sometimes when you're young, very young, women are having children and the children end up dying in the tummy is because they have not really made up their mind to have that baby, to bring forth that baby. And also just the whole natural birth situation, is something that you have to make up your mind for. Same with C-section. Women make up their minds to have C-section. They just don't want to push. It's not like there's anything, the baby's in breech position or anything. Some women just don't want to push. And for me, I had to make up my mind to have my baby. I had to. And the way I did help my mind to get ready for that process, that childbirth process, from labor to pushing to beholding my baby and just hugging him and just feeling him, was something that I came to terms with by watching. There's a TV channel called Baby Boom. It's a French one, but it shows you how the baby comes out from a woman, you know, like they show you in between. I literally was like, oh my God. I had to watch videos on the internet and start to prepare my mind that I have to push out that baby. I wanted natural birth, and I said, I have to push out my baby. And that's how I pushed, and the baby came out. And everyone around me has said to me, Sylvie, you're so weak, you're so soft. That's how I was considered. I was generally known as a soft person, someone who is very weak, someone who cannot really accomplish something like pushing a baby out. Oh my God. But I did it. I did it. My baby came out puke after 18 hours of labor, let me not lie. But I pushed. So I didn't end up well, thank God I did not end up on a stretcher on the way to the theater. I had my baby, and I guarantee you it's because I thought about it. Another instance where I thought about something and it came to fruition was when I went to the university the first time. I listened to the owner of the uni because it was a private one, and he's talked about scholarships, and I made up my mind. I'm not the brightest. I guarantee you that I wasn't the brightest in my class, but because I had made up my mind to get that scholarship, come what may, I started to put in place everything that I needed to get to that level. I started to study hard. I started to, I started to become friends with my lecturers. I started to become conscious about time, and I just did not make friends with anyone who did not help me in that goal that I had set for myself. It is said that your mind is your gold mine. It's not a lie. It's not a lie. I couldn't have imagined that at the university, for someone who was barely, among the first 10 back in secondary school, to be top of my class every semester, every term. I took the scholarship for 2 years. I was in that uni. I did. I took that money because I set my mind to it. I was competitive. I was intentional. I was focused. I wanted it so badly. The same is true for you. The same is true for you. I left my job when I was, what? Yeah, I left my job. I left a really good job. And I had made up my mind that I want to have my MBA before I turned 35. It was very hard for me to leave my baby behind. Very hard. But because I had set my mind on that objective to be an MBA holder by 35, I was courageous enough to get on a plane with leaky boobs just to go and achieve that goal. When you set your mind on things, I assure you that you will begin to see wonders in your life. These are my examples. There's so many. There's so many. Me, I'm known for I was talking to one of my my well, one of my teachers from boarding school, we reconnected on Facebook, and he was saying to me that, oh my God, Sylvie, he said, oh my God, where is this one from? So I was like, what do you mean? Then he started telling me stories about myself when we were back in boarding school, and telling me how I was always going around with my book. And he said, I'm Mary Book. And I laughed. I thought it was funny. So he said, I'm Mary Book, and I just thought, oh gosh, is that how bad I was? Is that how bad it was? Was it that visible? Well, one of the things that I try to do is to just send a message in my action to people around me when I set my mind to something, because I don't want distraction. You don't want distractions, do you? So I try to set my mind on those things. Another thing which helped me to achieve great things, or I don't know, another example of something I achieved because I set my mind to it, was creating my company. When I was 25, I wanted to have a company because I had a few friends, because I started working quite early. No, not 25. How old was I? I was 22. Yeah, 22 when I created my first company. So I had, I had decided that I wanted to lobby public contracts, and I had spoken to a few people who were in that sector, and they had recommended that I create a company. And I just went and created a company. I just got in touch with a lawyer, and he said, okay, I can help you. And I went to his office. I traveled all the way to Limbe. I'm telling you, I traveled to Limbe, and I went and found his office. I sat down with him. I created my own company at 22. I dictated what my memorandum and articles of association would look like. It was me, the majority shareholder, and I put my mom's name in it as a shareholder as well. I decided what the name of my business was going to be. I decided how long I wanted my business to exist for. In fact, it was a fascinating, experience, and I loved every step of it. Okay? If you want to do anything in life, all you need to do is think about it. If you want to sleep, you have to think about sleep. If you want to buy a car, you have to think about buying a car. If you want to have a baby, you have to think about having a baby. If you want to buy a house, you have to think about the kind of house you want to buy. If you want to travel, you have to think about the place you want to travel to. Life is about thinking. If you're negative in your thoughts, I guarantee you that the only thing that will come your way is negativity. Nothing else. Nothing else. You cannot plant yam and harvest corn. No. My son says corn. Yeah, Cody says corn. You cannot plant yam and harvest corn. Sorry about that. So I recommend that you sit down, okay? You ask yourself, what is it that you're thinking about? Ask yourself, think about what you're thinking about. Okay, you want to be independent by 35. You want to have your own home. You want to have your own car. You want to have a company. You want to employ other people. You want to, travel the world. Okay, those are amazing goals. Those are amazing, objectives. You know, um, but have you asked yourself, what is it that you're doing to be able to be able to be able to accomplish this objective? What are you doing? What are you doing to accomplish this objective? Are you doing everything within your power? Can you say that you have done your best? If you look back, a couple of years from now, can you say, I did my best? Can you say that about what it is that you're trying to accomplish now? Ask yourself, what am I doing? Where is my life? This job that I want so much, Is my CV good enough?